You're making us hungry.
Yeah.
They say it got like a lot cheaper since Amazon bought it.
Yeah.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
Okay.
It seems the same
Yeah.
to me.
One thing I noticed is because now they have a discount if you're an Amazon Prime member.
Yeah.
But that also means they can track exactly what you're purchasing.
It's only on certain things though too. So if you primarily go into Whole Foods to eat off the massive buffets they have, which a certain person does, then they don't give you anything off that. So.
But for like groceries and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel the store's culture changed.
Maybe. I
Over
live
in
in Seattle though, so I'm able to do the Amazon Prime, like grocery
the
shopping.
shop, yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy bizarre when I
It's
first went into one of those. I was like, what?
Yep.
You just go in and it scans your app or something on the way out?
Yeah, you have
just
to
grabs-
activate your app and then it scans whatever you have.
Like as you walk out?
Yes.
It doesn't even, you don't have to like go to like a register, right? That's so crazy.
Yeah.
My cousins were here in Seattle and wanted to go see that so bad. I think they did, but without us.
It was cool doing it.
I don't know, I read a review online somewhere that was talking about how it felt like shoplifting.
That would feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Just take it and leave. I was at the airport in Houston, and there's a spot where you could just get whatever you wanted, and then you just pay for it, and there was just nobody there, like, around it. And
I know what you, yeah.
Yeah.
I shopped at that too, and there was like, for me though, there was somebody sort of hovering, going, yeah, you can do, do this, go ahead, do it.
Do it.
And I was like, okay, I'll just take this, okay.
Just let me take my stickers and leave.
But yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I stood and hovered a little bit just to make sure that I wasn't doing anything. Like the person didn't go on break and didn't put up a sign.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but I feel like I read somewhere that the idea is too for like Amazon to do like a facial recognition thing. Did anyone hear that? Where, like you go in, you get stuff off the shelf, and it like facial recognitions, and then like
I wouldn't be
knows your
surprised.
app,
haven't
and
heard
then
that.
it's kind of bizarro.
I think if your phone can unlock with your face, then
Yeah.
I think we can pretty much do anything now.
I know, it's creepy. In China, I remember hearing too, they have like, their advertising, they can like scan a person while you're like walking down the street, and it'll like say female, like this age approximately, and show you like, oh, Nike sneakers, women's, like this size, and just like the ads change based on like,
Weird.
yeah.
That's like some Blade Runner stuff or something.
Yeah. I remember my brother told me once, programmers often do things without thinking about whether or not they should do it.
I think that's a human thing.
Yeah.
As a teacher, that's definitely a teenager thing.
Is your brother
Bridge
a
nav.
coder?
Is he what?
Is he,
Can we
does
hold
he do
position
code? Like, is he a coder?
Yeah, he's also at University of Washington. He's
Oh.
studying CS and entrepreneurship.
Cool.
It was really funny. We both decided to live on campus, but completely unintentionally lived at the farthest opposite corners of the campus.
How old is he?
He's 2 years older than me, so he's...
Okay.
He could have been your roomie.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if it would have worked out very well.
And Bridge, can we step to starboard to the selected target? It's approximately 200 meters away. Thank you.
So Peyton, your dorm, is that just kind of a typical thing for all of them to have all that equipment, or are you in a fancy schmancy place?
So they opened up North Campus, so there's like a couple new dorms there, and then the mill is the makerspace in McCarty.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they...
Data, can you stand by? Do you mind logging that we just stopped our forward way and we're stepping south 200 meters? Thank you.
And then should I write down that we're ending the line?
Yes, Argus is, we're not ending the line yet.
Okay.
Argus still has forward motion. We're trying to kind of time it to see if we can.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, the makerspace was partially funded by like the engineering department. So they like hold classes in there.
Summer, I
and stuff.
expect we will still be going up slope.
I am coming up.
Roger.
So Rennie, we're getting ready to turn.
Yeah, we're gonna be going south 200 meters and driving the reciprocal heading 260.
Is the goal to just kind of swing Argus around with us gently, or do we kind of wait for it to slow down and stop?
Yeah, we're trying to bridge the gap between the two of those things. Normally, if you had a towfish, you would just kind of do a big wide turn.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of trying this method out.
Is our next line 11?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
It's more of a tow weight than a tow fish.
Yeah. At some point, I'll probably give up this move and I'll have him come down here. I don't think he needs to go all the way over there.
Okay.
Just go in that general direction and then. So Argus's direction still appears to be forward.
Definitely slowed a bit.
Yeah.
Summer, can you tell me a little more about what you were doing over the summer?
Was that addressed to Summer?
Yep.
Oh.
It was.
Yeah, so I was working with Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute on their ROV system on the coast of... Why are you saying that?
Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution.
What did I say? Institute?
Yeah, sorry.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Word police.
They're particular
Anyway,
about
I'm sure people understood what I meant. Anyway,
We heard
as
what
I
you
was
meant.
saying, off the coast of Oregon, there's a big cabled array network, and in conjunction, fun
Regional
word,
scale network.
RSN, also, with University of Washington, we went out offshore and did a bunch of instrument deploying and instrument retrieval of stuff that's off the network. So it was entailed plugging some stuff in junction boxes and taking old ones up, putting new ones down. And yeah, so we were offshore for like a month and change, and then just demobbed a couple days ago, and then came over to the other side of the Pacific.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I mean, all the crazy instruments and crazy smart people from the Applied Physics Lab and University of Washington is a very cool experience, and just seeing all the cool stuff that they're making, you know, stuff that's measuring seismic stuff, and just tons of data. I don't even remember all this crazy stuff.
What's your like favorite crazy instrument?
Well, the new vent cam.
Yeah.
Did you guys put that down?
We did. Yeah. And then there was a really cool sonar head that was like on a track.
Whoa,
So we it was a Rezon mounted, and then we put it down and plugged it in, and it had like, it was on like a track, so it would just like pan, and it was pretty cool looking. And I think it was searching for bubble plumes was its main mission, and we had to retrieve it so they could fix it, because we deployed it last year and it worked for like 5 months, and then the motor got stuck, so they retrieved it, brought it on board, fixed it, and we redeployed it, so it's working now. So it was like we would deploy stuff. Scientists on shore would we'd plug it in, you know, they'd give power to it, and then they'd be scientists on shore controlling it and saying, yeah, no, this looks good, or if it was a camera or something, turn it to the right, you know, stuff like that. So
Did
it's
you
a
see
big operation.
any of the ROV selfies from the cameras while you were out there?
We never got to see that footage of us, but we would face a camera, they would turn a camera on, and it was cool to like them see us see them. I never got to see what we looked like, but I'm sure that's somewhere in.
When I was working on it, they could use a laptop and connect to the camera from the vessel.
No, yeah, that person was on shore that we were talking to, but that would have been cool to see. But yeah, and then we saw a bunch of cool, it was all around a vent area, a lot of it, so see some cool hydrothermal vents, and it was amazing how fast. One of them, we put a temp probe in, they call it a pig. I forget what.
Farm lilies, pigs.
Yeah, and so we put it down one day, and the next day we came back to look at it, and it had grown like 3 feet. It was insane. It was really cool.
Wow.
The chimney starts to crust around it.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Was it an autonomous pig, or was it plugged into the network?
We had both kinds, but this one wasn't like on its own one, and we retrieved it the next day. It was like, whoa. And we put some temperature sensor things down and tons of stuff. We did some mooring crawler. And the crawlers. Those were pretty cool, but those were probably definitely the most challenging, because you're going down with the ROV. You got this big frame mounted on the front, and it's got these 2 stab pins that come out, hydraulic, just linear actuators that you have to line up the ROV pretty well. And I mean, yeah, it's in the water column, so you don't have like auto XY, so you're kind of just really, I mean, they had auto depth that actually was working pretty well. Actually, auto XY was working, but it was just a lot of more thinking than usual about just flying around. Sonars and then some of the sites were super shallow too, so your visibility is limited a lot when the current's not ripping. And
can we step towards the selected target? The bearing is approximately 250. Thank you.
And all that work you're describing is part of the National Science Foundation's Regional Scale Nodes portion of the Ocean Observatories Initiative, found online at Interactive Oceans. And you can also find those cameras online by looking for ASH's Vent Cam.
Regional scale nodes or regional scale network? I guess
Nodes.
it's nodes now.
Yeah. The actual, well, I think they might be renaming it again. It was called the Regional Scale Nodes Component of the National Science Foundation's Ocean Observatives Initiative, which just rolls right off the tongue. It's previously known as Project Neptune, which stood for Northeast Pacific Time Series Underwater Networked Experiment, which I thought was a better name.
I did too.
Thanks for sharing, Summer.
Yeah, no, it was a
That's-
very
yeah,
impressive
that's
operation,
super
and
cool.
you're in the middle of it now with the University of Washington, so I hope you get involved in it a little bit, or
Yeah, maybe.
if you want. It's pretty awesome.
Bunch of that data is coming into OSB. Which room is that? Like, it's down in the basement.
Yeah, they had a really good website too while we were out there. They would do live, we would do live video out, and then they would do like somebody would do like the blog updates every day, this guy Mike, so it was pretty cool. He would just like, today we're gonna do da-da-da, so you could keep up with it at home and scientists on shore.
Did Dana go out at all?
Dana was out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great ocean engineer.
Yeah.
Did you see her book? Did she have the book?
No.
She wrote a book about a kid's book about ROVs.
No way. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, is this Dana Mannerling?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
worked with her really briefly on, I was in I think I told Ed or Brian about this. I was in a class called Earth Games where we made like games about the environment. And we were working on like a ROV simulator. And so like we had interfaced with like Deb and Dana a few times, just like discussing how like the game would look, and like what sort of targets you would find.
It's a lot of interesting classes and things you get to take, sir.
Yeah, it was definitely like, it's run by Dargan Frierson, who's in atmospheric sciences, and he also apparently teaches a class on like intro atmospheric sciences taught entirely through song.
Huh. Better be careful how much you describe. We're going to ask you to break out in song.
She does.
I haven't taken it, so.
There's a great professor at UW of atmospheric science named Cliff Mass.
Yeah, he runs a talk section on NPR.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Weather, atmospheric patterns.
Cool.
Yeah, climate science.
Yeah, there's some impressive people that come out of that institution. Institute. One of those.
Man.
The institution.
Got her. I've gotten so much grief over the years if I ever get that wrong, so.
Is there a difference, or is it just someone not spelling the whole thing? Sometimes.
An
Is there-
institute
I don't
versus
know.
an
There
institution.
There cannot be a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, could we get a Google check on that?
Oh, I'm on it.
There cannot be a difference. I feel like institute would be more maybe singular, like there's just one entity, and then like an institution would be like
An
Many
institute is an organization founded to promote a cause. An institution is an established organization, especially when dedicated to education, public service, culture, the care, the destitute, poor, etc. I don't know if that's correct,
they sound like the same thing.
but
So what is Scripps?
Institute? I think it's institute.
Yeah, I thought it was institute as well.
And
Yeah.
Woods Hole is
Institution.
Scripps Institution of Oceanography.
Oops.
I was just, wait, we were there last year, right?
Yeah.
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 Summer, you can start to
They
track
gave
your
us a
heading
tour of Flip
according to our
while we were
bearing.
there.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's
got to
cool.
go on it.
Keep
Yeah.
me posted
Oh,
on when I
sweet.
should
You
log end line.
That's actually been
Roger
two,
that. Yeah,
2
we're
years
kind
since
of
I've been down there.
towards the end of it.
Okay.
I think it's been 2 years now. Missed out last
What's
year.
that? Yeah, slowly start to turn your heading. Right now we're going about 90.
We're at that new like Nimitz Marine Institute or facility, whatever.
Yeah, it's a nice facility they
Yeah,
have
it
there.
really is.
Brand new dock.
They had us lay diapers down before we could put a cable on the dock.
Really?
Yeah. Don't get the cement dirty.
Yeah, they're not past that stage in the project where they care
No.
about what they get on the cement yet.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I love that saying.
Yeah.
There's a new Taylor Swift song that's out also. That's the chorus. It's excellent.
Data,
Huh.
can you log that we're changing Argus's heading to starboard
Okay.
as we start to come on the next line to the south?
I'm gonna log this just for fun.
Yeah, that feature there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's linear.
I'm gonna mark end line as well.
Yeah, that's good. And that was how many off to starboard? 75?
Yeah. I think it's
Or sorry, to port.
like 65 to 80, basically.
That-
It's huge.
Is that to starboard or to port?
It's to port.
Port, yeah.
Okay.
The ship's still changing heading?
No,
Oh.
we are now backing down to the... Oh, was that number 12?
That's number 12.
Yep.
So they decided to not change heading.
We're going to change heading when we get to the station.
Okay.
We could have done it now, but... Or leading up to it. Yeah, look, yeah, we're doing good.
All right. Done.
Okay. And then I'm gonna stop recording, change the name, and start recording again.
Excuse me. And what's the new file name?
This is just the same, but with turn at the end of it. So
Okay.
R1056_12 turn.
And this is for future
This-
ones from now on.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Except for when we get down to our line right here, and then it'll be 11.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's raining.
You can't really go by that wire cam because that's an infrared camera.
Oh.
So any mist in the air will be illuminated by the infrared lights.
Ooh, so maybe it's not
So-
raining.
Right.
Maybe it's just a bunch of flies.
I had to walk up to the bridge and back a couple times yesterday before we launched, I think it was, and it was dumping down rain, but it was kind of sunny out too. But it felt like I was at the ending of a
USBL really
Nicholas
doesn't like what
Sparks
we're doing
movie.
right now.
Yeah.
See, I wonder if the sea foam is showing up as white in the infrared because it's warmer or just because of the way it reflects light.
That's light. That's
Okay.
all light, yeah. We were somewhere, I think it was last year, I don't know. And there were a bunch of pyrosomes. We had another pyrosome bloom in the water.
Oh, I want to
And
see
so
that so
they,
bad.
they kind of churn in the wake of the boat. So
Yeah.
when we would go down and do XBTs at night, It was just a ton of pyrosomes lighting up.
I think we're good to change our heading. So.
Would love to
Roger.
see that.
You can see the wire is a bit more
If you get out to
slack than it was.
axial, sometimes they have blooms of Vallaya,
Bridge snap.
Vallaya. Valhalla.
We could change our
Oh,
heading
yeah.
to the
Yeah.
approximate
Billions of
bearing
them.
of the line
That's
260.
Valhalla by the Wind Sailor.
Yep.
Thank you.
Every once in a while in the Pacific, you get a bloom of those, and there's just billions of them. They're on the beaches. They're
Too
everywhere.
You should be turning to the
Starboard.
starboard.
Hopefully the boat will too.
Hopefully, but yeah, I was looking at it.
Fingers crossed.
Seemed like
Yeah,
we were doing that.
Oregon last year, I remember doing
yeah.
the same operations, and it was later in the year.
Yeah.
And the bioluminescence, we weren't even moving through the water, and I was in the bow, like pitch black at night, and it was just like glitter, and it
Yeah.
was so cool. I had never seen it like that.
That sounds amazing.
Glitter.
Hey, can we get zoom on sort of like a ridge in the center?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, I
What do you
think
see, Peyton?
it's a feature that we saw when we were.
That?
We're
Is
now
that what
kind
you
of
wanted,
riding
Megan?
along it a bit.
Okay.
Coming out.
Oh, you mean the one to the left? Ah, sorry.
Full wide.
Is that the ships?
Yes, that
Ship's
stuff. Everything above that gray line is either that's the ship and then the line.
Gotcha.
So, Kim from Norway, thanks for checking in with us. It is 3:14 a.m.
Yeah, it's
over here in American Samoa, and you asked a question about how long we're going to be mapping for. We actually started this mapping yesterday, but had a brief stop to handle some technical adjustments, and the original dive plan was for about 24 hours or so to kind of go back and forth over this 2 square mile search area, and we've resumed doing that, and we've actually already made a pass through that center search area. And what you're seeing on your screens is you see Argus. So that's Argus's camera. Argus is diving solo right now. Hercules is not attached. And Argus is being used as a tow fish. And Argus's camera is showing you what's directly below it. And then you see in those other 2 screens the first image set, you see Argus's side scan sonar, and that's going about 140 or so meters out in each direction. And then our other sonar that you see, that semicircle, that is what's directly in front of Argus. So that's helping us identify any hazards, obstructions, things like that, in addition to our bathymetric maps. We're going about 1 knot or so, and we're just continuing to kind of go back and forth across this search area to find what we hope to be the wreckage of the Samoan Clipper. We haven't seen any on camera yet, which is perfectly fine. The camera view is only below Argus for about a range of 20 meters or so in terms of how wide a field of view. But we've identified about 12 targets so far, the science team has, that they're interested in looking at in the future, and we're going to continue to do that. And even if we were to see any wreckage of the Samoan Clipper right now on Argus's camera, we'd actually just continue on and just kind of narrow our search area so we could understand as much about the debris field that may exist as possible, so we can plan accordingly.
I didn't make a note of the time exactly, but I think it's been about 15 minutes.
Data did when you asked them to log it.
Yeah, that was when when Argus stopped moving. I don't know if, I'm just trying to get a sense of the time it took for this whole turn versus, I think it would take way longer to steam and turn around with 550 meters back. By the time you really have to way overdo that, so.
Yeah, this is like a lot more control.
I forget my rule of thumb. 500 meters in an hour or a kilometer in an hour at 1 knot?
At 1 knot,
It's
4
1 knot
down
is
it's probably 1.25 kilometers at 1 knot is 40 minutes. So kind of like 2 kilometers at 1 knot is around an hour.
So a kilometer every half hour. Is that right?
I honestly forgot what I just said.
I did too.
It's getting to be that tough. 2 kilometers is an hour. So 1 kilometer at 1 knot is a half hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, but Summers sucked up 140 meters of cable.
Yeah. What's your heading now, Summer? Is 2, 4, and 5. Yeah. Okay. We're almost at. Bridge nav. We can begin to track along the line. You can adjust your heading as necessary. We'd like to go speed of 1 knot and the bearing is 260. Thank you.
So Summer and Ed, you're on for a while.
Mini moon. Speaking of the moon.
Yeah, it was an almost full moon tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a break, so I was on for a while. I don't know how long. I was in shipyard in February on the vessel.
Did you go down there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were doing all this work.
Did the KBM.
Yeah.
And then whenever our season started, I think I was on in May.
It was late April, yeah.
April?
April 28th.
Oh, yeah. So I was on in April, mid-April probably.
Yeah, you came out a little early, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I left. I know where I left, but I don't know when. And I'm on until October when we get back to San Francisco.
So, been on the ship a long time, tired, had an awesome season. First thing you do when you get back?
Beer.
I go home for 3 days before I leave to work on the build of another system for a client.
First thing you eat?
Well, it depends on what city I'm going to. Oh, I'm ending up in San Francisco, so I don't know. I keep trying to get my wife, when I finish in San Francisco, to come down so we can do a tiki bar weekend. Hasn't worked out yet, though. And I've just renovated the house, but haven't been able to see it. So I'm probably going home. So that'd be Seattle teriyaki, probably.
Yeah.
Peyton, what would you do?
As soon as I get home, Seattle?
Yeah, if you had to like have a Seattle food.
I don't know if it's a Seattle food, but like pho.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pho's great too. Especially because, well, it'll be October, which is usually not cold in Seattle. Not that cold.
Still be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer, you said
But
tacos.
it's just, you know what I miss? It's not like the food. It's the it sounds silly, the noise of life. You don't get to do anything for yourself on the boat here except do your laundry, and that's only once a week, and it takes very little time.
Yeah.
So the whole checking the mail, putting the trash out, walking the dog.
It's all time. You realize
like
how
that
time consuming.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's so time consuming. You realize oh, what happened to my day? I did
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
One thing is,
No,
is
I
like
like
having
that.
to cook for yourself and stuff, which I love. But it takes getting used to remembering shopping for food and
Yeah.
cooking
Yeah.
for yourself and stuff.
Because
It's
not
all
all
just
just
taken
here?
care of here. Yeah. Ship has begun its forward way. I wouldn't say that Argus is quite there yet as far as your side scan project line naming goes. We haven't really started to move.
And just like,
It's hard being around so many people, and then remembering that there's a different sense of personal space in the world
yeah,
too.
right.
You get in the supermarket, you're standing right behind somebody. It's like, oh no, there's plenty of space here. I don't have to do this. It's like coming out of prison, probably. I get if I'm on board for a long time, like 3 months. I've never gotten seasick, but I get dock rock really bad.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to
true
hold
thing.
on to something for about a week.
When I went back to the classroom in 2015, I didn't realize it, but I was teaching, and my kids raised their hand like, "Mr. S, why are you swaying?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I'm standing perfectly still.
Yeah, it's a very real thing after many weeks at sea.
Are your seats rocking up in the first row?
Just gently.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Every now and then we move around a bit more. It's gentler than it was our first watch.
I don't even notice it. I think that's why people, when they first come on board, get tired because there's a part of your, brainstem or something that's having to work your core and counteract the motion of the vessel all the time. I don't think you're actively thinking about
Yeah.
it, but I
Some
think
of those
you're.
subconscious things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do notice that people, everyone. Oh, I'm not an expert because it's never happened to me, but I think a lot of people think that seasickness they associate with vomiting, but I think more often it's just feeling exhausted and wiped out and
Yeah.
sleeping. I see that more than the other.
I made it a mission of mine the first time I was on. It's like, I'm gonna be tough. I don't need to take anything. And I made it through, but we had a scientist from Germany on, and they were tasting the wonderful food of the Nautilus a second time.
Oh yeah,
Quite
Yeah.
frequently. I took some this time, just to avoid having to go through it.
like the Dramamine.
Yes.
I have to take that if to take pain medication.
Oh.
I don't like pain meds, but if I have to take them, if I don't take them with Dramamine, they're coming right back up.
Huh. Never heard that before.
I was really worried coming on board that, because I just have really bad balance. I was really worried that I was
0.7
going
should not be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think themselves into seasickness too. They're so
Yeah.
anxious about it. And I get it, because you can't control it,
Yeah.
Summer, your heading set for 260.
Affirmative.
Roger.
So some of those tacos, are they from a specific place?
Ugh,
Do you
the
like
just diviest of hole-in-the-wall places. They always have the best food.
Yeah.
the first truck you drive by?
Oh yeah. Tacos and sushi. I don't eat meat, but I eat fish, so fish tacos and sushi is like my fuel. And also work. I'm fueled by work, so I don't even eat out here. It's just
You just photosynthesize through.
Yeah.
Clockwise is
That'll
negative
work.
on the counter.
Just absorb energy from the screens you sit in front of.
Yeah,
Mass osmosis.
must be.
What's that?
It must be.
Sustains
Must
herself
be.
off of her purpose.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Summer, have you been to like Veggie Grill before?
No, and you know what I really wanted to try? Wait, where is that?
It's like, there's one in U District up in Seattle, but like it's,
There's a bunch in LA.
yeah, vegan, vegetarian, but like simulated meat.
Yeah, I want to try the Impossible Burger.
Oh, there's
I've heard about this mythical.
I like the Beyond Burger better.
When
It
our-
sounds kind of gross,
when our
but I wanna
daughter
try it.
first became a vegetarian, I said she was a pretenditarian because she only ate the stuff that pretended to be meat.
Oh, like all the
Yeah.
pseudo meat
Yeah.
things in the frozen food.
Yeah, fake chicken nuggets or whatever. But there's a restaurant in Seattle. Oh, I can't think of the name of it now, so it's not going to matter.
I feel like
That's
Okay, I think we can start
it's a
to log
kosher
that
place.
we're on this
Chinese
line.
place.
Got it.
It's just
Starting to move
packed
forward a
all
little
the
bit.
time.
Mm-hmm.
She
Start
loved
of
that
line.
place.
I've heard
Start of line.
the Impossible Burger is insanely good, and like you cannot taste the difference between.
It's real good, but
Real
like I
meat.
said,
Oh, you had one?
Yeah, the Beyond Burger I think is better, and you can buy that in
How
the
do you
store.
know they're not just lying to you?
Yeah, or like it's made out of.
There's,
Yeah.
there's a,
But the
Tastes
whole
just
bunch
like
of
a
cows in the
cheeseburger.
restaurant only.
Oh, really? But it
Beyond.
is like the same thing?
It's two different companies, but essentially the same thing.
Yeah, no, I'm dying to try one.
You should buy Beyond.
They're
They're good.
I don't know if that's flavors hit the East Coast yet.
Make a
They have them at
Beyond
Whole Foods.
Impossible burger.
Where are you at in Florida? Are you in
Fort
Southern?
Lauderdale. Yeah, just north of Miami.
Yeah.
Just
See,
above
it's
the crazies.
Great international food there, yeah?
Yeah, we've got really good like Cuban foods,
Yeah.
a good thing, and yeah, a few Jamaican places. Jamaican make crazy with good food.
I was just about to say that.
We went down to Jamaica, I think it was last year maybe?
Vacation,
Yeah, a quick holiday before I went back out to sea.
nice.
Or maybe after?
We were there on the Nautilus
remember.
in a couple, like 5 years ago, I think.
In Jamaica?
Yeah, we went to
Oh, from St. Pete, right?
yes,
Yeah.
St. Pete to fill in the blank. Where else did we go?
You
We
could
ended in
concatenate these
Jamaica.
side scan files by just by timestamp, or do you actually have to do something within the
What else did-
edge tag?
I was renaming them within the edge tech.
Oh, okay.
Michael told me to, down at the bottom, the record file,
Uh-huh.
he told me to actually rename it for the turn, and then also I just renamed it when you said that we were starting the other line. I
Oh, okay.
renamed it for this line.
Yeah, I was just curious. That seems like that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I've got the file name down for data.
Awesome. Thank you.
But the targets
There's
will
one
be
tomorrow,
continuing
2:30.
numbers.
We got one at 9.
That's it.
Doing it.
So I think we finally have settled into a watch schedule over at video.
That's
Yeah?
exciting news.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
Allison, join your team.
Yep, Allison's doing 9 to 11 each day.
AM
And
and
then
PM.
I'm doing 11 to 4. And Steven's doing 4 to 9. Which means that on Trevor's watch, there's 3 different people sitting video.
Anthony, if you're
It's a chance to
listening, we miss
socialize.
you.
What's that?
So
Anthony, if you're listening, we miss you.
Yeah. I think we've got that all sorted out, and we'll see him when we come back into port.
Yeah.
The prodigal son returns with a valid passport.
Whoopsies.
Allison is continuing her tear through OET staffing positions. She can run the crane.
Oh,
She can do launch and recovery. She's an Argus pilot.
she is?
And yeah. And Chief can be Chief Psy. She can be an SCF.
Expedition leader.
Yeah, expedition leader. And now she's learning video.
Mm.
So that leaves the 2 seats over there that is
I
telling
saw
her
her
she's...
set her for 5 minutes once.
No. Yeah,
Does
she
that
has
count?
flown, so we'll count that one.
Count that.
So Nav is the summit of her.
The summit. Boy, is it lofty up here.
The air is thin. Yeah, she's collecting merit badges along the way.
We'll see her spend some time on the bridge next.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
One Allison expedition party.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing that we saw? So you see where's my mouse?
And in addition, on another project I've worked on with Allison,
See these right here?
the same one that Summer just came off of, Allison is quite
I'm
the
gonna
lava
go ahead and like
morphology
that.
expert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can
She
I-
can look at a underwater
gonna
lava
target.
flow and tell
Target,
you
target?
how it was
Yeah.
formed and
Really?
Target
yeah,
13.
read the ground, tell you the
Yeah.
five different types
what-
of lava,
where was
the
it?
pillow basalt,
It
whatever.
was like 100.
Yeah.
That's
It
impressive.
was right on our edge. It was like
And she was a high
120
school
to
teacher.
starboard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was a high school teacher?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Geology? Well,
I don't remember where.
Science?
It was Hawaii. She taught in Hawaii on the
That's
Big Island.
awesome.
Oh. Is this target 13?
Yes.
Yep.
Lucky number 13.
And then we
That's
were
my lucky
moving
number.
southwest.
And I had 2 June 13th, so or July 13th. I have no idea where I am or what date it is.
We are the 15th?
15th UTC.
Yeah, we're 15th. Because we spent 2 days and the 13th.
All right,
So
all
we
good.
crossed the date line and then came
Yeah.
back. My Apple Watch said I burned an incredible amount of calories
On
that
that day, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was the 2 Saturday nights that did me in.
It's like, you've been standing for 30 hours.
Yeah.
So Kim, our listener from Norway, Argus is about 12 meters, 50 meters above.
Right now we're about actually more closer to 19.
Okay.
We've got like a lot more terrain at this end of the survey, so I'm being more conservative for these rocks. So 10 to 20.
10 to 20. Awesome. Thanks. And the closer we are, the better and more detailed map we get. So that way when we come back in the future, when we're ready to start diving on these targets, we'll have a better idea of what might be down there, which we don't fully know yet.
At 9 and 11. So I'm leaving when you guys leave. I think at 4, and then I come back at 11.
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah,
It's not too
yeah, it
bad.
works. Yeah, although Steven or I are doing all launch and recoveries.
Yeah.
That's a tricky evolution to learn.
Hopefully there won't be too many.
Yeah. And an equal number.
It's always the goal.
So Diana from New England, or excuse me, England, thanks for joining. We're have about 13 dive targets set so far, and we haven't seen anything definitive yet. We still have a bit of time before Hercules will go down. We've got a good bit of the search area to continue to explore, but we're going to continue to search our 2 square mile area, and then the science team will kind of compile the data from all these side scan sonar maps that have made and kind of help determine the plan of where they want to go. Nothing definitive yet, but if you're looking at our camera, it's only about 20 meters or so wide in terms of a field of view, so you're not seeing a whole lot when it comes to the area we're searching. The side scan sonar goes about 100 to 140 meters out on either side. So we're seeing a lot more. We're just seeing larger areas through a different type of lens. Thanks for joining.
Just gonna add on, Brian. Our so the field of view should be about twice our altitude.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier it was closer to 20, but I think now it's gonna be 30 to 40.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem.
I can always count on you for some great numbers. Or identification of organisms.
I am data logger. I own all the numbers.
Nice.
That one's easy because tangent of 45 is 1.
Ready mic drop. Mathematical mic drop.
No, I think that's right? That's
Yep.
one. Am I making that up?
Yeah, no, that's what I was using to calculate it, so you're right.
You can, but it has to be processed. And I'm not entirely sure the navigation data, how it's processing the USBL things, if it's smoothing it for, yeah, so.
Summer, when you guys were at the axial vent field, were you able to do Mitch's photo mosaic as an underlay to your nav screens? So you could see where all the vents
We
were
got
around
them.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, we were using them as maps. It was pretty awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a little, we had like a 10-meter offset, but it was a cool, like, map to have. Just
Especially
see,
for
like,
tether management and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it was awesome. I didn't know that those were his.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. We did single body ops too, so we didn't have to too much worry about the tether, but it's still like good information.
Currently back is 280 meters, and we were settled out at around 550.
Yeah, to do those package deploying and retrievals with dual body would be like not ideal. Plus they have heave compensated winch.
Yeah.
So with the heavy packages, like what we would do right before landing is we would just activate heave comp, and then so as we set the package down, it was.
I worked with that vehicle and single body on an observatory before.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that same heave comp winch.
Is there a reason you would not have heave comp on the whole time?
Yeah, just to not wear it out. Like, it's not super necessary. The whole water column, it's just more of like, I mean, we did experiment with it through the water column, but it was just like, kind of why.
When you're at the bottom, do you leave it on?
An active heat pump, that winch?
Say what?
Was this another
Sorry,
target?
putting another target in. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, what was that?
It's
Starboard?
electric.
Starboard.
Who makes that winch?
Rats.
75.
Oh yeah,
Starboard
that's the Rat
75.
They're foreign. They're European, I think. From Norway or something?
We picked
They are
up
from Norway.
a platform once using that winch, and our load went up about 150 pounds.
Whoa.
That was it.
That's, yeah. That's not, yeah, it's pretty good. It's, the only thing is it's like electric, so And the level lines, like, you really got to fine tune it, and like we mobilize it onto different ships all the
14.
time, so it can get a little bit testy, and it's just like all software driven, so it's fine tuning that sometimes on different ships takes a bit of finagling, but when it's working great.
Yeah, we put 2 of their
You good?
big winches on a big pipelay vessel, big active heave comp winches with cursors and moon pools. 6 months worth of software development.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I
2
guess
Norwegian guys out there the whole time.
yeah. And to even, yeah, to do the heave comp part, like you still get the whole winch package and then you just pay the extra money, and it's literally just a software update to do the active heave comp. So it's not like more equipment, which is nice, but.
Dan, you been on Tully when they turn on heave comp before?
What's that?
You ever been on the Tully when they turn on the heave comp on the A-frame?
No, I don't think I've seen them run heave comp on the
They've got
A-frame.
those rams at the top of the A-frame.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they can take the block, and the block moves up and down
Oh, yeah.
just to offset.
Really?
But
Right.
that means it can take the 6.8 all the way to the deck.
Ooh.
All right.
Doesn't Alvin has
I
something
haven't
like
seen
that,
that.
right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have like
yeah,
those heave compensated cylinders.
yeah,
Yeah, those are cool.
That's a passive heave comp.
yeah.
So, Doctor, when you're looking for targets, what's something that jumps out at you? That might be something worth identifying.
Mainly if it looks really weird.
Or a 90-degree
And
angle.
that's a very technical term, yeah. Or, I mean, if it, so most rocks look like blobby shapes, and they have blobby shaped shadows. And especially right now because we are creating these sort of wiggle lines in it. But anything that has an extremely geometric shape or just has a like a strange shadow, then I mark.
Especially if that was to not be oriented at our current
Yes.
orientation. If we saw a diagonal straight line, that would be pretty good indicator.
What speed are they running that?
What, the winch?
Yeah.
30 minutes per minute?
That's it?
Yeah, I've never seen them run it more, I mean, unless for testing we did, but
Still sciencey slow.
yeah.
Why do they limit their speed to that? Because going through the
What's
crane?
that there in the, is that a rock over to the left? In,
So we did a bunch of,
Sorry, when you
Argus.
say,
sorry.
Just in the
Yeah,
Argus
do a little
HD.
push.
oh, I got you.
Just couldn't see what that was, yeah.
Looks like a rock. I'm gonna.
Couldn't tell if it was a creature with a shadow or
Right.
it's very
Yeah, got some screen grabs.
mirror.
Cool.
Hey, you're gonna go crazy back there on the next leg.
I'm so excited because our next leg is exploring the National Marine Sanctuary and like deep sea corals.
Yeah.
So a good question coming in about Argus's side scan sonar, and it is mounted to Argus, and it's not on any type of gyroscope, so any movement or wiggle that you see from Argus is something that you can see on that Science